If you're good, you'll be fine. And if you suck,
threw away your love letters. I thought it make me feel better. I
know this one.
finally got you out my
ooh, my hair is crazy.
All
Alright guys, yesterday I dropped a video showing you guys how I design in SolidWorks. I essentially designed a concept of a fan. I allowed you guys to download my 3D model and we walked through how I built the fan. Okay, so if you haven't seen that video yet, definitely check it out. It's probably one of my better videos, so definitely don't miss out. The link should be down below. When I was reading through the comments of that video, there was one comment that really stood out to me that I really want to address in this video. The reason why I want to address this comment is because I remember having this exact same concern, pretty much almost the exact same concern. So if I had this concern when I was first starting off as an industrial designer, they had the same exact concern, maybe you guys might have the same exact concern. So that's why I'm trying to answer it in this video. So let me go ahead and answer this question. Hey Jimmy, nice video, thank you. Oh, this is also by the Design Portal. And they asked, so I want to do industrial design in college. However, once I graduate, I was wondering if industrial design will still be relevant in the real world, and if I'd get a decent, good paying job. I'd really appreciate if you could address my concerns. Essentially, is industrial design a good path to take? Will it still be relevant? And can I get a decent paying job? Okay, so when I first started industrial design at Cal State Long Beach, my very first sketching class, on the very first day of class, at the end of class, I stuck around to literally ask my professor this exact question. The TLDR of this video is essentially, if you're good, you'll be fine. And if you suck, probably not so good. I don't even know how to say that second part, but if you're good, you're good, and if you're not, you're not, okay? That's the TLDR, all right, guys? So you guys can leave at this point if you don't want to listen to any other stuff, but I'm gonna dig into this just a little bit deeper for you guys, talk to you guys about some of my past, and also tell you guys about my thoughts on this, okay? I first started off as a fine artist, when I'm young. Eventually, I started learning about technology and started designing and drawing consumer electronics like headphones and game stations. And then eventually I started dabbling in graphics design, automotive design, and I considered all of these options. Being an artist, being a graphics designer, being an automotive designer, and then eventually I discovered industrial design. And industrial design was the one that I ended up selecting because it just seemed like the most practical application for my creative skills that wasn't going to get me deep into debt, which was automotive design. The school I wanted to go to was going to be way too expensive to be a good return on my investment. So industrial design seemed way more intriguing. It was kind of like car design, but the design for everyday products, and I could design pretty much almost anything. Industrial design seemed like a good path, and I really think that that still stands true today. When you become an industrial designer, you are literally opening the doors to a ton of different jobs. Don't think that you have to only get an industrial design job when you graduate. When you learn industrial design, you're literally learning so many different skills, it's ridiculous. So let me just discuss to you guys what kind of skills you actually learn. Eventually, you're gonna do a lot of projects where you have to build a website. So you're gonna, have a little bit of website building skills. You're going to need to learn how to 3D model. So there are complete jobs out there that only are looking for 3D modelers. So if you get really good at Fusion 360 or SolidWorks or any of these programs, then you could literally do just that as a job. That's just one aspect of industrial design, but if you wanted to really take over that and just that be your thing, you could definitely do that. If you really like building stuff, you really like using your hands and making models and, just creating tangible things, then you could be a prototyper or a fabricator where you can just make these designs. There's a whole job career out there with just making these products. And I've seen so many industrial designers just go into that realm. I really learned a lot of video creation when going to school and creating these YouTube videos. And so I picked up a lot of video editing, video shooting skills. So if I ever wanted to pursue just doing videos, then I could do that if I wanted to, and I don't even have to find another industrial design job. I feel like I'm getting my point across. There's so many other things that we can do, okay? There's sketching, 3D printing, research, presentation. I know so many people who just went into the rendering aspect of industrial design, and all they do is take 3D models from other people and they render them, meaning they just put colors on them, they add lighting to it, and they create these beautiful renderings where you can put on, websites, advertisements, and, product packaging. So there's people that are industrial designers that literally just do one aspect of industrial design. And so if you pursue industrial design, you literally can do any of these jobs, I promise you, especially if you are good and well-rounded. As far as landing a decent job as a designer, it might be tricky, okay? But landing a job in general using your industrial design skills, there's gonna be plenty out there. I remember when I first started industrial design, my goal was try my best in school, have as little distractions as possible so that it would reduce my probability of completely failing because, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just put my heart and soul into it so that I wouldn't fail. And it turned out to be pretty good for me. And so my goal was, once I graduated, I wanted to get a job that paid me around $50,000 a year. And I could move my way up the ladder getting paid more and more. And so that was pretty much my goal, 8 years ago, starting off as an industrial designer. And now, after graduating, I got paid way more than $50,000 a year. So it goes to show that sometimes you have goals and you could blow past them because, eventually they're kind of limiting, like the goals that you set now might not be the goals that you set 10 years from now. So as far as relevancy, and landing a job, industrial design is fine, okay? As far as pay, I feel like you need to be a good industrial designer. If you are a so-so industrial designer, you'll get paid so-so. If you are a really good industrial designer, then you'll get paid a good amount of money, I would say. It's not a lot of money. It's not, like world-changing money, but it's better than normal, like I get paid more than my parents, I get paid more than a lot of people that I know. And I think not because I'm an industrial designer, but because I really put a lot of effort into becoming as good of an industrial designer as I possibly can. And that hasn't changed ever since I first started industrial design. And that should also be your perspective as well. Just try to keep getting better and you won't have much to worry about. So I really hope I answered your question there, but there's so many opportunities for industrial designers. It's still going to be relevant. If anything, products are getting way better, as far as design and aesthetic goes. Job search is always going to be difficult. It's you gotta keep on searching until you could land one, okay? The best way I've discovered how to land a job is essentially just word of mouth, guys. Just put yourself out there. And what I really believe is to do the job before you even have the job. If you guys ever heard of that saying, essentially what it means is if you want to become an industrial designer, you gotta do industrial design stuff before you even become an industrial designer. And so you can't just be an industrial designer and then that's where you start. You have to start even before you're an industrial designer. Keep on designing, guys, keep improving, and just try to be the best designer that you can be. And if you are not doing that, then you're gonna have a lot of trouble ahead of you. And the reason is because there's designers out there that do believe what I just said, okay? There's designers like me who are trying to improve and get better and so passionate and love design so much, okay? And so you're gonna be competing against these kind of people. And if that's not you, it's not gonna be good for you, You're not gonna do so well against these kind of people. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've known designers who I've went to school with where I thought that they would probably do much better if they selected a different field, okay? So don't go ahead and just think industrial design is easy and it seems fun because you're not reading that much books, and you're not taking a bunch of tests, and so it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be an easy path to take, okay? It's not gonna be an easy path to take if you're not a good industrial designer. All right, guys, that is pretty much it. Pretty much all I have to say. I wanted to keep this really, really casual and, really authentic because that's pretty much the goal of these videos. All right, guys, if you have any questions for me, definitely leave it down in the comments and I'll try to answer in the next video. Hit that like button if you learned something, if I have relieved any of your concerns. And leave me a comment, you know? It doesn't have to be a question. You just say, hey, what's up, Jimmy? I appreciate what you're doing. You know, I like your beard. I don't know. Maybe your hair. My hair doesn't look too bad. I don't know. All right, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.